What's up, everybody? Welcome to another Yannis Pappas hour with the long day sign behind us. It's a cross marketing between old and new is what it is. My dates where you can see me live this month in January. Miami, Florida, January 13th through the 15th. Get your tickets right now. They're going fast. It'll be me. I'll also be bringing Marisa. If you want to see the hottest women at a comedy show, get these tickets. I do a headlining set, and then Marisa comes out. Same thing in West Nyack, New York. Tickets are also almost sold out. January 20th through the 22nd. Then San Diego, California, January 26th through the 28th. In February 24th through the 26th, Chicago at Zanies. Atlantic City, March 3rd. Emmaus, Pennsylvania, Emmaus Theater, March 4th. D.C., March 9th through the 11th, guys. Then Dallas, Texas, March 16th through the 18th. Springfield, Missouri, March 23rd through the 25th. Phoenix, Arizona, March 30th through April 1st. Tampa, Florida, April 21st, 22nd. San Fran at the Punchline. Can't wait. May 4th through the 6th. And Providence, Rhode Island, May 12th through the 13th. And comics, April 13th through the 15th at Mohegan Sun. Get your tickets at YannisPappasComedy.com. Now enjoy this absolutely wonderful episode.
Yannis Pappas. Yeah. When you all tucked up in the day been long, and the news online going on and on, what's right and wrong, and it's something up. Now here comes a great kid you know you can trust. From the true who's who to the news and cameras, to the fake politics and the propaganda. Yeah, this kid's screwed in, got a lot to say. Oh shit, it's about to be a long day. It's a long day. It's a long day.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Yannis Pappas Hour with the long day sign here, which means one thing, that I have a guest, which some of you are never happy about, some of you are. I know all of you are going to be happy because it's a good old friend. You guys all know him. Give it up for Sergio Chicon, brand new, still got the same Jehovah's Witness personal trainer energy, came in here high level, healthy, and he's got Invisalign.
Yeah, Sergio Invisalign Chicon, a.k.a. Sergio Lululemon Chicon. Sergio No Blizzy Chicon.
Yes, Sergio, healthy. Dude, you posted on Instagram. You know when your friend's getting too healthy, when he posts, he's just eating sweet potatoes. Just eating mashed up sweet potatoes. Making a comedy video.
Yeah, dogs. That's when you know you are not being accompanied by your family members. That's some like bachelor living shit. I had a sweet potato in my cabinet that was growing roots, and I cut the root out, threw the sweet potato after stabbing it a number of times with a dull knife, threw it in the microwave with a wet towel for 4 minutes, ate that shit. But that's like famished living.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's because my wife and my daughter are upstate, and I'm going through a transition now where I'm going to be moving up there, but that's the way I'm eating. I'm eating like a feral dog.
You're doing an old school transition from apartment to house, not man to woman.
Right.
It's a very 1950s transition.
Right.
He's going, bro. Yeah, that's when you officially start to turn Republican. It's gonna happen. There's gonna be a difference when Sergio comes here next year when he's fully in here. He's gonna be like, yo, man, you know, there's just these kids they just coming around my area, my house. It's like he's gonna go. I fired a couple warning shots into the air. I'm gonna go, whoa, what are you talking about? You got a gun? He's like, yo, you have to when you're out there because of bears and shit. But really, you got to get it because if everyone shows up on their Ring camera, you shoot first, ask questions later.
Yo, that happens, bro.
It happens.
And no one's exempt. I mean, even like culturally, I don't care who you are. Once you move up to a place that you're isolated, you become very protective of your domain.
Yeah, because your circle gets smaller and the things you interact with get smaller, so you care less about the other issues that you're more in contact with. You know, when you're like, oh, yeah, there should be stuff for everybody. Now you're like, how does this affect me?
Who the hell is on my property?
Yeah, you got like
looking through the blinds.
You got a little kingdom now. You're not interconnected with everybody. You just got a little kingdom. You're a homeowner.
Yeah.
So the Republican Party speaks to you. That's their base. Their base is that.
Man, that's what my future holds for me. Bitching about taxes and oil.
Yeah, you're going to be talking about interest rates and shit like that. That, you know, the Republican Party likes to give people like you a break. Homeowners.
Jesus Christ. Just CNN, like.
Independent contractor? I mean, come on, dog. Yeah. Once you learn the issues, you and your sister are going to argue on Thanksgiving. I'm looking forward to a lot more Chicon families. And by the way, I'm not. That doesn't go to say that I am Republican. I'm not. All right. I'm neither. I probably lean more left, obviously. I get called it all the time. The people in the comments know. You can't fool them. They're like, it's Cuck Yanni again. But it is something funny when you move into a house. You do start to feel some of those things.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I definitely, I am kind of done with the city, but the city is super dirtbag now, and I think it's a COVID thing. Yeah, since COVID, it has released all the ghouls and goblins.
They come out.
Yeah, like that's something that just is surface. It's to the surface now. All the ghouls and goblins are out. They're not being addressed, and they all have transportation, which is weird. Because we used to have mentally ill people who were just on foot. Now they're all on city bikes.
See, he's almost there. He's getting there. You see the progression?
Yeah.
1 year in, it's not gonna be like the ghouls and goblins would be out. Like, look, the city council that we have is a bunch of fucking left-wing maniacs, and they got to get these crazy people off the street so my daughter can walk to school. I'm sorry, did that just come out of my mouth?
Yeah.
You're almost there. You're getting there. Mm-hmm. You're getting there. Yeah.
I'm brushing close to it.
You're getting closer to talking about local politics. Does anyone love local politics more than fucking a Republican? They're like, yeah, this fucking mayor. I didn't even know about mayors and city councils. Now everyone's...
I still don't, man. I don't even know who the school chancellor is.
Give it a couple seconds. Give it a 1 year of suburban Sergio with his slippers on, and somebody delivers a newspaper by accident to your house. Yeah. You get the New York Post, and then you flip through it, and you go, hey, let me get a subscription.
You know what? I hope there's a time or a day where I'm settled in enough upstate where I give a fuck about that. Because right now, I'm in the middle of the bullshit where I'm still in the dealings with like the actual contractor, which all across the board, contractors are dirtbags. Yo, when he first started working for me,
so set it up. Your wife and your daughter are in the house.
Yes.
You're not fully in the house, and the house is partially renovated, and you're in.
We're 3/4 done with the renovation.
So you're kind of renovating around them.
Right. So we got a fixer-upper, a few months back. We're 90% done with the renovation. My wife insisted on moving upstate so my daughter could be in a better school district, and she was just happier moving to the sticks. And that was frowned upon. I was like, why? Why so abruptly? So, we bumped heads on that. But I support it. But now we got a renovation that's going on while they're in the house. So everything is like fast-forward renovation. And we're dealing with all sorts of dirt bags. It's a dirt bag when the motherfucker looks at the job and they go... When they whistle, there's nothing said. Yeah. And they use their boots to like step on things. Whoa.
Because you know what they're doing with that noise is they're figuring out how high they can give you the price, and they want you to think it's a big problem. So you're going like, they're getting you ready. They're lubing you up, right?
They absolutely are. They're they're con artists. They wrinkle their foreheads and look up, and they use that knuckle. Where's the thermostat at? What?
Yeah.
You got a ladder, need to check the roof out. All this shit. Let me get under the house. Yeah. You're a bunch of shit.
Why would you get under the house? We live in the house. I don't need to know. I don't need to fix what's under the house.
Yeah. So a bunch of that, and then when we finally get a contractor, oh, Mr. Sergio for anything, Mr. Sergio. When they throw a Mr. in front of your name, you get fucked. They throw the Mr.
Right.
And
they want it to be professional business in meeting. Yeah.
Yeah, Mr. Sergio. For you, we're like family. We're not like family more. So it's been a ride. I didn't think I was gonna get any money back. They left it. They were done with the job, right? And then they have 4 things to complete. And he walked away without completing the job. And dogs, I have a lot of time and energy. And I was like, this is a battle I'm not going to lose. So I was shooting this motherfucker text on unorthodox hours. 9:59 on a Sunday? Yo, where's my money?
Right.
Do the right thing. Have some respect and honor. Like,
you were
wearing him down, working the body.
Yeah.
Long round. And he was like, oh, Mr. Sergio, I'll come back on Tuesday. He wouldn't come back. A week later, I would send him another text. give him a cut.
Wait, so how did you end up in this situation? Why did you're supposed to wait to give him the final payment till you're satisfied?
I fucked up. You know why
Yeah.
I fucked up? I fucked up because it was a little less expensive by giving him cash money. Now, he was done with what he had to do, but there was some things he had to go back and fix.
Right.
Right? And there was some future work that I had to just put a hold on because I was running out of money. I said, let me be smart about this and reserve this money for some other shit. So I cut the job a little short, and he was paid in full to that point, but there was 4 things he had to do. And he bounced. With my ladder. Motherfucker left my ladder. That I used a pilot marker where I wrote my name. I used a pilot marker.
You put your name on it. Yeah.
And he took that shit.
Yeah.
And I was like, I need my ladder.
You put your name on that.
Yeah. And he returned the ladder like in the middle of the night.
Yeah.
You know, left it by the garage, that type of shit. Like he didn't want to be seen. He didn't want to see me in person. And it was a bunch of that shit. And I wore his ass down. Dogs, I even snapshot his address of the construction company. I said, this is where you work? I did
Wow.
that. And without hello, I just snapshot the address and then send it to him. I said, is this where your company's located?
Wow. That's like handing someone a bullet. That's a threat.
Yeah, it was very, I was doing
that's
shit
a
like
threat.
that.
Wow. How long before you did that? How long till you resorted to those old school tactics?
2 days before he gave me my money.
See, I don't know how to fight well. So, like, if I had done that, it would do nothing. They'd just be like, yeah, that's a picture of my workplace.
I am very proud of myself. Throughout the whole thing, I never cursed. That's one thing. Like, it sounds aggressive, but I always thought about what I was going to say.
Yeah.
And I really took it down.
I think it's almost scarier if you don't curse.
Yeah, I was mad calm.
If you're
When I had him on the
control,
phone, I said, Mr. Danny. I said, interesting how you're not calling me Mr. Sergio anymore. You act as if I'm bothering you.
Oh, you said that to him?
Yeah, I said, you act as if I'm bothering you.
Yeah.
I paid you money.
Yeah.
Now, what you should do is complete the job.
Right.
Have some honor and respect and some integrity. I trusted you.
Right.
Or you can Venmo me my $1,200, $1,400 back.
Right.
And it's easy. I don't have no dealings with me.
Right.
I don't have any dealings with you. Let's move forward.
Right.
And still waited another week. And I kept on. I was not stopping. Because I think people just give up.
Yeah, they just get, they
I
don't
didn't
want to
give
deal
up.
with it. Yeah.
I was,
And he just gave in because he's like, all right, I don't want to keep dealing with this week after
I
week.
was probably annoying the shit out of him.
Yeah. So what did he need to do to finish?
So one thing that me and my boy Derek Drescher, you guys know Derek,
Yeah.
right? Derek was nice enough to give me an idea about how to heat the house. And what you do is you got a wood insert inside your chimney, right?
You told me about that. I'm getting that done. Yeah.
And that wood insert blows hot air from the fuel, and the fuel is wood, right? So we put the flue in, we put the face on, cast on, shit's like 300 pounds. We didn't, I had it delivered. And Derek, my man, who used to work with this shit, helped me install it. We had it nicely flushed against the chimney face. Our security for it, like what it was set on, was dirt bag. We had like washers. So I asked the construction worker, support this nicely. Pay you for that. Let's give me a nice support. He's like, Mr. Sergio, I put marble in there to be nice. Yo, dogs, he never got around to that job. When he finally did it, you know what he used? A slab of chopping wood that was outside on the side of the house.
He said marble and he got garbage.
Yeah, he supported it with garbage.
Yeah.
And he pulled the face out, so it was like this.
Wow.
It was like on a tilt. It was like someone who was on angel dust, just leaning like this.
Wow, that's
Yes,
real dirtbag.
real
Go outside
dirtbag.
and grab a piece of wood to support it. Yeah.
With like Elmer's glue,
Yeah.
like seeping out the side.
Yeah.
So
After he said he was going to use marble,
absolutely.
do you think he
So
would?
I think that was the most infuriating part of it, was the fact that he said he was going to make it look nice and he fucked up the job I did.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So he came back in. Did he put the marble on?
No, he never came back. That's what I'm saying. So I need my money back for that.
Oh, so you didn't get him back? I thought you said the guy came back
He
after
never
you wore
came
him
back.
down.
No, he had to finish that job.
No, there was 4 things that he had to do. I got my money back for each. That's why I broke. That's how I broke him down. He never.
he
came
just sent
back.
the money.
He just sent the money.
Oh, that's
Via Zelle.
weird. Why wouldn't he just finish the job and keep the money?
Because maybe because he threatened his life a couple of
Maybe that. Maybe
No,
that is
I
some-
think,
or maybe he just didn't know how to do it,
Right.
and like he said, he was hoping he could figure it out, or like you wouldn't care. He was probably hoping he could get away with it.
Yeah,
Be like,
that's
"I'll
what I'm
just throw
saying.
some wood."
That's what happened towards the end. So he was giving me the best version of himself in the beginning.
They always do.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mr. Sergio, all that. And then towards the end, it wasn't like too abrupt. It was like a couple of days short of blade.
Yeah.
All my guys are sick. You know, it was all a bunch of bullshit.
It's like a guy in a relationship from a girl's perspective. At the beginning, you show them the best, and then that's how contractors are. Contracting relationship is just how dudes slowly evolve into dirtbags in relationships.
That's
Towards the end,
absolutely
they
right.
just don't care, and they're like, "Come on, just deal with it."
Uh-huh.
And you're like, "No, it's not what I signed up for." Yeah, and then you got to threaten. You got to hit them, and that's what women do. They hit them, and then
Exactly.
if you're Dana, you hit back.
Yo, that shit was wild.
Yeah, that was fucking Dana White. You hit back.
Yo, but part of me was like, good for him.
She hit him first.
That's what I'm
I don't understand what the scandal is.
I was like, that boy.
Yeah, I mean, it's his own wife. They've been together 30 years.
And he didn't look like he smacked her too hard. He looked
Not
like
too
he gave her
hard.
like
Yeah.
like I would smack my pup. Like, hey, slow down.
Yeah, he hit her twice. She hit him first. I mean, she smacked him. I mean, everyone's going crazy. It's like, dude, he smacked her back. When someone hits you in the face, I mean, it's on. All
Yeah.
rules are off. The rules of chivalry are off. Yeah. If a woman hits you here, that's my rule, is below the neck rule, I believe, right? No? You believe in the below the neck rule?
Yo, you're not getting me involved in no domestic.
I'm just saying, if anyone hits you above the neck, you're putting yourself in a unpredictable situation. Because sometimes when you don't react, I've hit people back. I didn't even think. You just react.
I picture that like you give like two knuckles across the face. Like,
Yeah, yeah. I mean, like,
I've never seen you that angry when you struck somebody.
well, there was one time at Bar 4 back in the day.
Yeah, someone
Yeah.
pushed you while you were in the urinal.
Well, it was no. Oh, that one, yeah. No, that was different.
The head of your penis touched the porcelain.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah. I got upset. But no, it was a different time where a girl rushed the stage and she hit me. And I didn't even think. I just reacted and I just mushed her back. You know, I didn't think. It was a reaction because I got hit in the head. It was just your mind turns off when you get hit.
So you gave it like that football trophy.
Yeah, it was like
What's that called?
I was
Heisman.
You gave it the Heisman stiff
to the
arm.
side, but I was holding the mic too because it was just like
Yeah.
And so like it reverberated. It was like boom, 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 boom. And then her boyfriend rushed the stage, and I punched him preemptively. I gave him a super punch from off the stage and jumped off. He was bigger than me. Thank God he rushed too, because otherwise the story would have just been the girl.
He walked right into that shot.
He
too,
walked
probably.
right into it. He walked right in, and he had every moment not to because I took my glasses off and put them on the piano. Bar 4 was wild.
Dana White has an annoying look. He looks like a swollen baby.
He does look like a swollen baby.
Right?
Yeah.
He looks like a baby with an alcohol problem. What's that called when a baby is
Fetal alcohol syndrome?
Yeah, it looks like he got some of that. So he has an annoying face.
Yeah, he does have an annoying face. But look, so we're talking about Dana White. He smacked his wife on New Year's Eve after she smacked him. So it's bad, but it's one of those things like she smacked him, he smacked her back, they made up. You know, I mean, I don't know what to tell you. They've been together since they were 12 years old. They've known each other since they're 12.
Yeah, they've been together 30 years.
They were both hammered. He doesn't
It
even
looked like
remember
such a
it.
whack party too. Like we're in Cabo, Mexico. It looked like a shitty nightclub.
Yeah.
It's just weird. Like you would think this guy owns the UFC. You would think that he would be like somewhere private. He's like at some shithole. He probably had a wristband.
Yeah, he probably had a fluorescent wristband on.
Yeah, he had a where you could drink all night wristband.
He's at Senor Frogs.
And and he's so rich. Like, I don't get it. And also, he's 50. Dog, if anyone asked me to go to a club, I'm not even 50. And I would be like, nah, I'm not going to a club.
Yeah, it's very odd behavior. So what happens is what happens to these people where it's you just become suspended in time after you reach success, where you want to act like a child still? Because that's like childlike behavior.
I think it's alcohol. I think it was just alcohol.
Yeah.
You know, alcohol, bad things. You know what I mean? Like, I remember back in the day, you know, you too, you know, back in those days when you were drinking and you were doing a little bit of the white lady.
Yeah,
I think, you know, you were quicker to throw hands too, right?
Yeah, but
during those
I never hit a woman. I've been spit in my face by a girl, and I didn't.
Yeah,
hit
spit's
her.
not the same. But if she,
I think that's more disrespectful.
yeah, it's tough. Did you get close though?
No.
No?
I took it. I was like, she's crazy.
Yeah.
But I don't know, man. It depends on the temperament
I
where
think
you're
I
at.
could, I could deal with spit because I think just hitting it's something.
You like, I like that shit.
Yeah, I like it.
Bag.
No, you know, everyone. I have, you know, Sergio's. I got Sergio. I got Jesse. Right. Everyone has a friend like Sergio that gets married, and then you find out later that they're married. Because I didn't even worry about that I wasn't invited because I was like, yo, nobody was invited. That shit happened at the city hall.
Yeah.
And it was probably family and friends, close friends. And then you just show up and Sergio goes, I'm married.
Yeah, my mother and my daughter were at the wedding, and I got married for tax reasons. And at the time, my wife was a flight attendant, so for flight benefits.
Right. Those were good benefits.
I'm so romantic.
Yeah.
And so we went to City Hall and got married. And we're going through a metal detector, and an officer told my mom, I told you to go around, like nasty to my mom. Yeah. Like, this is at my wedding. I'm like, my best button down.
Yeah, it's your special thing.
You wore your church outfit to get married?
Yeah.
Best button down?
Yeah, I had the Banana Republic button down.
Yeah.
A little yellow under the underarms because I wore like 3 times over.
Yeah.
Just a little taint.
Yeah. Yeah.
I even threw the pants in the dryer to release the wrinkles.
Yeah.
Roll them out of
What kind of shoes? Did you do sneakers or did you have shoes on?
some slip on, no laces. Beard was tight. I remember when I got a shaper for that bit, I said, keep it like midway. And he said, why you don't want to go higher? I said, my beard doesn't grow that high. And the barber told me, you need to eat more pussy. Who says that? That's some dirtbag shit, right?
Yeah, no, but I mean, maybe there's truth to that. But he's like, yo, I'm married. And we don't do it. Nobody eats pussy when you're married.
So I almost got arrested at my wedding, but it was a good time.
Yeah.
I went through a metal detector at my wedding. That's odd, too.
That's
so romantic.
That's like your podcast. That's dirtbag shit.
Yeah.
DBS.
Yeah.
So what are you doing now? You got the DBS podcast.
The DBS podcast was recently picked up again because it was let go by the previous company because they had to move on. The owner got sick, and it was fine. So we took a couple of months off, and then it was picked up.
Why did that sound like you were giving an excuse why you didn't have your homework? You started with like, what happened was the owner.
Yeah, because it's not that interesting.
yeah.
The guy that was just sick,
Yeah.
he thought he had nut cancer, and he did it. He just had like some other shit going on.
Right.
And he was scared to death, but he didn't, explain that to the entire company. So he just kind of like left us hanging. He was like, I'm not doing any more podcasts anymore. I think I'm dying, was his sentiment in his voice. But he never said that.
Right.
He said, I'm not doing a podcast anymore. It's not making any money. And as he was yelling at us in Zoom, like the hair on that falls to his shoulders was like shaking. It was like a wrestling character.
Do you think he made up the story about the nut cancer just to make it easier?
No, he was really sick. And he explained that it wasn't that serious. He had like a stent that fell apart or something and needs to be readjusted. Some, medical shit. I wasn't really, I was half listening to it. Because I was just worried about my podcast.
You're like, where am I taking it to next?
Yo, so my man Joey Gann, I got to give him a shout. Starts working with these guys on 9 Bowery, which is the Supreme store in Soho, and he's selling it to me. Man, I got a new podcast studio, and we're going to record. It's going to be off the hook. And I was like, word. So I record 2 episodes, and I was like, who are your partners in this? Who's financing this shit? And he's like, oh, some crypto guys.
Oh, so yeah.
So 6
Those
hours,
guys are about to get ball
yeah,
cancer
so
real
6
quick.
hours later, they get evicted.
Ball cancer all around.
That's it. They got kicked out.
Yeah, that's it.
So that's it.
And then now you also got the boxing one.
Yeah, so now I got POP, which is Picking Off Punches. It's me and my co-host Derek Drescher, who's super fucking knowledgeable about boxing. And basically, imagine like Drink Champs, where they highlight like old hip hop pioneers and guys, who had an influence on hip hop. But for us, it's boxing. So we had Ann Wolf, we've had Mickey Ward, we had Boom Boom
Wow.
Mancini,
Wow.
who killed the man in the ring. But
Right.
that shouldn't be highlighted. It's just fucking crazy.
Right.
Because his story in itself is super interesting because he became an actor. He's super positive, and he was a fighter's fighter. That guy will come forward, and he's super charismatic. Yeah, so that's just a collection of we have an interesting collection.
Oh,
of
I
guests.
got to check out that Mickey Ward episode.
What's the name again?
It's called POP, Picking Off Punches. Now, very little is on it. Maybe we'll get like a flyer, but it drops on January 10th.
Oh, it's not out yet.
It's not out yet.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's great that you're finally doing a boxing podcast because, that's your passion.
Yeah.
And Derek, too, right? Derek knows how to throw hands.
Yeah, well, Derek is like, he can't remember what the fuck we spoke about 3 minutes ago, but with boxing, that motherfucker's, he's like an elephant. Like his memory for like, he could dip into the archives of boxing and give you dates and stats that are unbelievable.
Yeah.
But he can't remember some shit that went down 6 hours ago.
Yeah. I love Derek. But I'm glad you're here because, you know.
I like Derek when he has his teeth in.
Yeah.
When he doesn't have his teeth in, he's one of those guys that just leaves the side teeth out. He's missing, what's that, the molar right there?
One of them, yeah.
Yeah, it's two of them he's missing.
yeah,
Don't be nice. And when he has those missing, I become irate.
You just can't deal with
I just
it.
can't. I squint my eyes and look up to the sky. Like the late Angelo Lasada when he was being aloof and dismissive, just like that. When he was studying a Knicks game. Like
So how's the Invisalign going?
The Invisalign is good. So
I see you got, my wife has it right now. I'm sorry, Brittany.
No.
Yeah.
Calling, Giannis is referred to his wife as his wife, which I know is his wife, but I also know her as Brittany. I know her personally.
Right.
It's like you're talking to a UPS worker.
It's true. Yeah, my wife said the package came yesterday. That is true. I didn't think about that.
Yeah, you're talking to me like...
I wouldn't go like Brittany. I go like, yeah, my wife. That's a good point. It's like maybe subconscious. I'm trying to distance the commitment. Guys always see me. We're on a never ending quest to distance the commitment, whether we're subconscious or conscious about it.
Wait, who are you talking about? Who is it?
Who? Oh, Brittany. Yeah. It's my wife. When you call her your wife, it's like it's also like you could be referring to your sink. It's like my sink, my wife, my door. Oh, that's my car.
I'm glad you realized that.
Huh?
I'm glad you realized. Pull these ladies back.
Yeah, you got a good point. That is true. I didn't.
And you
think
tried
about
to
it.
defend it earlier. You're like, yeah, my wife.
Yeah, my wife. I'm making it more personal. I thought I was making it more personal.
Not at all.
You're like, not at all. She's got a name. She's a human, and I've spoken to her. And you're like, that's a good point, right?
On multiple occasions.
On multiple occasions. That'll be. But so Liz is your wife. How's Liz in the new place?
Listen, me and my Liz are fighting. If I gotta be honest, we are in the midst of fighting, but it's good because everything that is worth it requires a little bit of struggle.
Mm-hmm.
So we're trying to figure some shit out. It's a transition,
Right.
You're
probably fighting mostly because of the situation. That you transition into this house, it's not done. You got all the stress of the fucking renovation.
Yeah. But everything in my life that has been worth it has always had that little bit of struggle.
Yeah.
That's why I try to remind myself.
Always.
Everything.
Everything. Mm-hmm. That's a good lesson for people to learn. Anything that is worth anything is hard. The things that are easy are always bad. Even the relationships that those relationships that start off like the crazy chemistry, because they got only one place to go, down. And they always do, because that's just how it goes.
They start off mad high,
and then they just got only one place to go.
Yeah, and it's funny because those it's a collage in the memory bank, right, of those people that we
jerk off to.
that you were like fucking dating for like 2 months or whatever. I remember this Mexican girl. She had half her head shaved off. You know that type with the bangs coming down just on one side, thick black eyeliner, net stockings. Bipolar.
Yeah.
Smoked a lot of cigarettes.
Yeah.
Did Blizzy on the weekends. Bartender.
Oh, yeah.
Fun. Knew a lot of comics and musicians.
Yeah.
Yeah. She used to sit on mailboxes and be
Yeah.
like, "Who the fuck do you think you are?
Yeah.
You think you are who you are? Fuck you." Why the fucking the heel dangles off the shoe?
Yeah.
And I was like, "Oh, that's sexy."
Yeah, that's sort of that confidence, that arrogance, that assholeness. Yeah, those are the girls you love to fuck. It's something a guy who wasn't married would say.
And I apologize if I mentioned that story on the last episode.
I don't think you did.
Oh, good, because then it shows I have no closure with her. And you're gonna do a double promo. Like, Sergio just doesn't have any closure with that. There's no wonder why his relationship is in turbulent right now.
Yeah. This episode is brought to you by the great Bespoke Post Box of Awesome. So many cool gifts that come in your box of awesome for you or a loved one if you sign up, and they just keep coming, and they're all so cool. If you love getting some cool stuff that you really don't know what's going to come, but you give them idea of what you like this very cool, I love that I got this. This is called the Flicker Fire. And what you do is when you're outside in your backyard, you put it's like a mini bonfire right here. Boom. You put it right there.
Roast some marshmallows.
Roast some marshmallows on that with friends. This is a cool product, from obviously a small business, like most of their products are from. They partner with small businesses. 90% of everything that comes is actually from a small up-and-coming brand, and they're so cool because those brands are hungry. They create cool stuff like that bag I got. That also you can put your it's like a duffel bag, but then under the bag inside it you can put your suit in it. So if you have a suit, you put it in there and then fold it around, and the duffel bag it's very cool.
And the shoes can go in on the side too.
Shoes going in the side. It's very freaking cool. I use that every weekend now, and I got it in my box of awesome.
That's what it's called, the Weekender.
It's called the Weekender, and it's very cool. I got a cool knife in the Terra box that was made by the Bare Bones, based in Salt Lake City. And the Weekender, like I just mentioned, quality leather straps, very cool stuff. The American barbecue rub, that is delicious. Very, very cool stuff. So get signed up right now to boxofawesome.com. All you have to do is take their quiz. Take a quiz, and it matches you with the things that it feels like you want. It's very cool. Every unique item in hand is curated from a small business that you probably would have never heard of otherwise. And that's what's so great about Box of Awesome, is because they curate this stuff for you. Essentials for travel, cocktail kits, right here, my little Flicker Fire. So go to boxofawesome.com right now, sign up, and when you sign up, you get 20% off your first monthly box. Boxofawesome.com, 20% off your first monthly box. Enter the promo code FUMES. That's boxofawesome.com, promo code FUMES for 20% off your order. Boxofawesome.com/FUMES. I got an interesting thing. My ex-girlfriend, right? We're still friends. We were together for a long time. And her husband, she got a new husband, and he has kids, and she has kids. So it's like the Brady Bunch. They're living together, and the kids are together. So like his kid was like going through sort of a gender thing, but more of a sexuality thing, going like was bi and like going all that stuff. And
Greedy.
Yeah, a little greedy.
He wants everything.
But this is what she told me, and she's very left. She's very left. But she told me, she goes, he put her in a new school. He changed the school to where she goes, and like that's all done now. And I was like, what kind of area is it? She was like, yeah, it's a little bit more of a Republican area. And I was like, I think some of the stuff that's going on is a little bit of like a fad, almost like a Nautica jacket. It's almost like a Nautica jacket in the 90s. It's almost like Timbo boots a little bit. Because when you're a kid, you want to fit in with your friends. And if your friends are doing that and that becomes like the cool thing, it's got to be a little bit of that.
There absolutely is a little bit of that. I had a situation with my daughter, and I'm so happy that I have a relationship with my daughter where she trusts me, because she was it was a family friend's daughter was asking my daughter, what does she identify as, right? And my daughter was like, I'm a girl, a girl. And she was like, yeah, but like sexuality, like a hardcore question. The girl was only 13. My daughter was 9 at the time.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she made my daughter feel super uncomfortable. This is like in the middle of a game of Fortnite. They never even met in person. So it's like, I think that's a product of something like this girl has learned and been exposed to. And it's like, how does she even know that at the age of 13? And she was like, I identify as asexual, but I might switch. And she was asking my daughter these very personal questions.
At 9 years old, that's too early.
The girl was 12.
No, but your daughter was 9.
Way too early.
Yeah, my daughter was mad uncomfortable. Held on to that shit for 2 days and then spoke to me about it. And I thought that was such a win as a father. Like, I did for 8-9 years, I did something right where she came to me for counsel.
Absolutely.
And she trusted me. And I was like, thank God. And I said, first and foremost, do not feel guilty, because I think when you're faced with that sort of discomfort, and I'm not considering this abuse, but it's weird because it could go there if unchecked. it's like anyone who's abused or whatever, they blame themselves. Like, oh, what energy did I let out to deserve the creation of this dialogue or something, right? So I told her, I said, I'm glad you did this, because if you would have held on to that and been alone with it, you know, you can kind of make it up in your head, like a scenario in your head, like, oh, this is my fault. You know, I'm bringing on this energy, and it's very complicated, and I don't know how to do it. And now you're alone dealing with this, and you always have me to talk to help sort this out. And you did nothing wrong. I'm glad that you told me exactly how you feel, made you feel uncomfortable. What we do next, I think we delete her from, she's not a gamer that you're
Wait,
playing
this
with
happened
anymore.
online?
It happened online.
So how do you even know it was a 13-year-old on the other?
Well, because it was a family friend's kid.
Okay, all right.
Got it.
Yeah. So then, I told the mother of the kid, and I was like, it's not, we're just no longer, they're not going to play anymore online. Made my daughter feel very uncomfortable. And she was insistent on doing a FaceTime chat. And I was like, if you absolutely want to do that, that's fine. And we did it, and it was mad uncomfortable.
Right.
Now a fucking fat kid comes in the background. She says, I want my daughter to apologize. It's like some fat kid like, I'm sorry. I didn't mean it. And she wanted my daughter to go. I said, no, my daughter's done with this whole shit.
Yeah.
You're bugging. Like, oh, okay. And I felt bad for the kid.
Right.
Because now she's putting her kid in a mad awkward situation. She's like this, like swollen from some leftover Thai food she had the night before or some shit. She looked, and I felt bad for the kid. And I'm like, I wonder what this kid is subjected to. And I did a little more research. Turns out the kid lives in there's multiple families that live in this kind of, it sounds like a cult, like down south. I don't know exactly what it is. But I think the kid may be exposed to some shit.
How did you do the research? How did you find out about where they are?
Because it's a family friend.
Right.
So I just, and then take
ask some questions.
Yeah, ask some questions.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
it's like, oh, okay, that's it's very like a hippie, sort of like multiple families living. So the kid may be exposed to some shit.
Yeah, yeah. I always wonder about that as a father. Now I'm going to have 2 girls, and I'm like, I'm going to have to answer questions and do all this stuff. And it's such a complicated world, too, now, because you can raise your kid the way you want to raise your kid, but then they have access to so many other people trying to influence your kid and so many other things trying to influence your kid. And you just gotta, how do you navigate that?
This is the thing. I think there's a quick answer to that, is that a lot of the stuff on how people live their lives is none of our business and beyond our control. What's my business is how I interact with my daughter. Right. What values are being set, what confidence is being instilled, the connection between her and I, right? That's what matters. That's the foundation. Now she kind of explores some things. She's gonna come back to me because I've always been very honest with her and communicate it. And listen, if something goes a direction where I don't approve of, I'll address that when that time comes. But we don't want to fucking harbor these thoughts that don't exist yet. Because that's when you drive yourself crazy, and then you become overly protective. Right. So now you're like with your kid, like, heal.
Right.
You can't watch this. You can't be exposed to this. I think that's a dangerous way to go when you worry about it too much is what I'm saying.
Right. I like that. So the most important part is the connection.
The connection and
that
being like,
she feels like she could come to you.
Yeah, what she's seeing from her father, we're playful. We're keeping it light. We talk about anything, and we're having fun. I'm gonna try to instill some confidence in you. There's boundaries, but there's a whole other world with other different people with their own values and decisions they're gonna make. But this is the foundation here.
Yeah,
and
like
anything
that.
you want to entertain or let's talk about it. But I can't. You do that shit with anything in life. You worry about it's gonna be this, that, and the third. You become fearful. And it's not a way to live.
No, that's no way to live because you're handling stuff that.
You see how I took your cadence? There's no way to live. That's how you know you're cool with somebody when you take that cadence. No way to live. That's a Yanni long knees.
Yeah, no way to live. Yeah, no, it's true. It's true.
Yo, you still dipping, Pa?
Yeah.
You snoozing, Pa?
Yeah. I knew you were going to criticize me for something unhealthy. But listen, I dropped 10 pounds by changing my diet.
Okay.
I'm working out, and you gave Jesse a compliment, and you know what? I've noticed that I haven't got a compliment. I'm a little concerned that I haven't got a compliment. I've been looking for a compliment. I gotta admit, it affected me. I heard it from the bathroom when you came in, And as I was in the bathroom, I actually said to myself, I was like, is he going to say what he sees me? Because he's so in shape and he knows. I'm like, is he going to notice that I dropped a few or no?
Yeah,
But obviously, I don't look good enough to make a difference.
No, the best part of your look
I'm
right now.
telling the absolute truth. I'm not even doing it for funny. I'm being honest. I was in the other room going, I hope when I go in there, he's going to say something.
No, the most what's promoted from your look today, and I love this about Yannis, is what I'm saying, is that your beard matches your shirt. The gray beard matches the shirt perfectly. That's what I see.
So you still haven't noticed that I look a little more in shape?
The sneakers look white.
I still don't look in shape to you.
No, you look good. Yo, when this is my leg. I don't know what to do. Look, I went like this. I don't know what to do with myself.
I can't believe I'm not up to your standard, dog. He just said he's got a higher standard. He's basically saying, I won't mention it until it gets to a certain level. 10 pounds.
Really?
Yeah.
So you know what? It's been so long.
You said really like you don't see anything.
Well, you notice it's been that long since I've seen you then.
So
because you might have been this weight, blew up.
Right.
And then you went back down because it's been a long time since I've seen you.
I was at a
good save, Sergio.
I was at a DBS weight. I was at 219.
Yeah, you're not showing that shit online.
Yeah, no.
You're not showing that weight gain on social media platforms, right? No one's doing that.
Or the weight loss. Yeah, I haven't announced it at all.
Although I wish, and this is gonna, I wish I would have fucking recorded you on your honeymoon. You were a dirtbag on your honeymoon. He like a pregnant hamster. Yo, he got comfortable real quick. I was like, he had his hair wet, and it was split in the middle. He was dancing like this. Yo, drunk in the sun.
Yeah, drunk in the sun.
Dehydrated.
And I was bloated.
You were bloated.
Yeah.
You were bloated off that free buffet.
Yeah.
Boy, you can eat buffet.
Well, what's happened is I've been diagnosed with moderate sleep apnea, which you heard in Providence. I remember you were like, yo, Yannis. It's terrible when you snore? It's like you can't help it, so your feelings get hurt. Your feelings get hurt.
You're sensitive, right?
Yeah, when someone tells you, wakes you up and says, stop snoring, you get hurt.
Wait. I didn't wake you up and stop snoring. I threw a fucking sock at him. He had a fucking ball of socks. I don't know how he takes off his sock, but they're never in balls when I take them out. They're laid out.
Yeah, I scrunch them up. And
yeah,
just
they
pull
were it was a bunch of socks this all over it, and I just threw that shit as I say, stop snoring. And he was like, what? With his mad small eyes. What?
Yeah, because it hurts your feelings because you can't control it. You don't know about it. You can't do anything about it, so you just get hurt.
Separate rules.
So, when you get
the
sleep apnea diagnosis, that wakes you up a little bit. That's what it took.
Sharing a room.
Yeah, it was me, you, and Chris, and we were in Providence, and you left early because you got sick.
Did I get
Which is
sick?
funny because the next time I did Providence, I got pulled out on a stretcher.
Oh, that place is bad luck.
Yeah.
What team was playing at the? There was a Super Bowl.
There's something in that room's got bad juju.
Wait, we were playing Providence when there was a big football game going on, and we bumped into a bunch of players in the elevator.
I think it was the Titans were in town to play the Patriots or
So
something.
you gotta understand, right?
Or
When
the Chargers.
these athletes are peaking and a peak performance, it's like a boxer who's training for a fight, and 2 days before the fight, they're their eyesight is sharp, their hearing is more, they can hear everything, and they're in fight mode. So we're in an elevator with fucking 4 big ass football players who are they're playing in 6 hours. And Chris thought it'd be a great idea, oh, what's up, fellas? You want to come to my show tonight? Here's some tickets. And he tried to make a joke, and he was bombing.
They just were
they just looked at him
yeah, they were
and he was like, yo, good guys, see you guys later. Good game. And we started laughing. And Chris walked out with a head between his legs. And he was so embarrassed.
It just didn't go good.
And he got so mad at me. He reacted on emotion. Yeah. He was like, yo, that's why I have the career I have, and you don't. He walked away.
The charm just didn't work on them. They were like,
well, he was second guessing himself. It was almost like.
I think it was just one of those things where they were just like they were in their athlete world.
But he also like.
If they were
when he was-
girls, they would have been like, "Yeah, what's up?"
Yeah,
you know?
yeah, but they weren't girls.
No, they weren't girls. And they probably thought he was just like maybe an annoying New England fan.
That's the thing.
Yeah,
He
'cause-
actually, it came across wrong.
Yeah.
It didn't come across with the gusto of a fan who's like, oh, if you guys want to like chill the fuck out and watch some comedy, you know, I got a dope show tonight. Come through. Tickets on me. Love you guys. Good luck tonight. It was more like I'm stepping up. I don't know if I should.
Yeah,
it
yeah.
was like,
Well, I
it
think
was
he was
hilarious, though.
trying to be funny and doing it in like a funny way.
But it didn't work.
But they weren't. Yeah, I think if he would have done it normal, just like came like genuine, like, "Hey guys, what's up? You know, good luck. I'm letting you know I'm
I
doing
wish
this
I would remember
comedy show."
exactly what was said, but it was fucking hilarious.
They would have been like, they would have taken it and been like, all right. But then when either way, they would have looked at each other when we got off the elevator and went like, either way, we were getting one of these. Like, yeah, like they weren't gonna leave and go like, we should go to the comedy show.
Did you tell him about when you texted Aaron Rodgers? Invited him to
Oh, yeah.
So embarrassing.
Yeah, so Aaron Rodgers follows me, right? And he started following me.
Yeah, the moment you were you overthinking it before you sent the
Yeah,
text? That's what
yeah.
happens.
Yeah, well,
So
it was
Chris
actually
had-
because of fucking Jared Harvin.
Yeah,
It
he
was
blamed it
Jared's
on
idea.
you.
We were in Minnesota. We were in Wisconsin. We were in Madison, and he's very proactive, which is good. You know, he's always proactive and
We're proactive, like he
positive.
goes to protests, when he goes to the shows.
Yeah. No, he's just proactive, thinking like, you should do this, you should do that. You know,
That's
just
great.
positive.
Yeah, that's that good enthusiasm.
Yeah. So, but
Good
you know,
energy to have.
yeah. So he goes. So Aaron Rodgers had been following me. So we were in Wisconsin. He goes, message Aaron Rodgers. We were in Wisconsin. You know, he plays in Green Bay. He's like, tell him to come to the show. I'm like, I don't know, man. He's Aaron Rodgers, dog. He's not gonna come to a comedy
Yeah, he's
club.
not thinking about it too much. You
Yeah.
should send a note. Yo.
Yeah. So I was like, yeah, you know what? I remembered he was a comedy fan. He's a big comedy fan, right? He went to see Burr, and Verzi told me after the show, he came back and they were talking. He's a big comedy fan. And I'm like, yeah, maybe he's following me because he just likes comedy, and maybe he'll be like, yeah, I want to go see the show. So I message him, and what was it? I hit him twice with the brother.
You started, what's up, brother?
Yeah, what's up, brother?
How should I spell it?
Yeah.
BRTHER or BROTHA? Right?
Yeah.
You're doing that shit.
But I hit him with like two brothers, right? At the beginning and the end, I bookended it. Like, it was like awkward, you know? And of course, it went on red, and like fucking, he probably gets messages all the time. And then afterwards, we just had a good time on the podcast. We were joking about how, and we read the message, how awkward it was, you know? And maybe you're right. Maybe it's about the hesitation.
yeah, you gotta just pull the trigger on
You
this
just got to
shit.
go in there, like, and just be more like, yo, hey, man, I'm a big fan. But yeah, I said I'm a big fan like 3 times. That's what it was. I was like, hey, man, hey, brother, big fan. I'm going to be over at the Comedy on State in Madison. And then I ended it again, man, big fan. Love you, man. You're one of the greats.
Yeah. You might as well have said, hey, listen to my mixtape.
Yeah. It's like a guy in the street trying to push a mixtape. It just didn't. Yeah, it just wasn't.
No reply.
No reply.
Yeah,
So
I got a reply. You know, I'm a big Wu-Tang Clan fan.
Of course.
Yeah.
And I years ago I tweeted
You definitely look like that's who you're a fan of. It would be weird if you were like, you know, Barbara Streisand was staying at the hotel.
But you know I fucks with Mazzy Stars, Sarah McLachlan,
yeah.
Fiona Apple.
Yeah, you're
Alanis
Renaissance.
Morissette.
You fuck with everything.
Yeah, Duncan J. I mean
Yeah.
Duncan J. That's a comic. Duncan Sheik.
Yeah, Duncan J.
Duncan
Talk
J.
about a guy who blows up and lost weight.
That's funny. So I tweeted a piece of a quarter of a Capadonna verse, and he's not the most popular member of Wu-Tang, but the verse is hilarious. It's on a song called Ice Cream, which is Raekwon's first album, and it goes like this: I jism like a giant, blow wombs out of their socket. And I was like, that's a dirtbag verse. I jism like a giant, blow wombs out of their socket.
Yeah.
And I said, DBS, dirtbag shit verse. And I tagged Capadonna. And he was like, Dirt McGirt, that's old dirty bastard. He replies, Dirt McGirt told me dirt that hurt, but you wouldn't know that because you probably from the Lily White House. So you wouldn't know.
He didn't take it the right
Yo,
way.
he took it the wrong way. And I was like, but I'm a fan. I love you. And then he never replied again.
Yo,
Yeah.
he took it the wrong way.
Yeah.
He just was like, oh, this. That's so funny. You didn't mean it at all that way.
No, I was
Yeah.
promoting like dirtbag shit for me
Yeah.
is some funny shit.
Yeah.
And he took it like I'm calling him a dirtbag.
Right.
And
Right.
it's hilarious because he really is on some dirtbag shit in a funny way, and
Yeah.
it went right over his head. And it's crazy because if I would have said anything positive to promote that line, I wouldn't have gotten a response. Interesting how we respond to negative shit.
It's true. We were
Right?
talking about that before.
And I'm sure you're guilty of that.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
People are like, I love you, Yanni, or whatever. And then the moment someone says
I'm
something,
like, what the fuck? What do you mean?
Yo.
100% of the people have to like me.
Yo, Yanni used to engage in some epic Twitter battles, yo.
dude.
And I pictured him laying on his belly with his feet crossed, tweeting these things.
Yeah.
He used to go in.
So you know he petty because he responds to bots.
Oh,
Yeah,
Bots
yeah.
be like, "Oh, pay off $5,000 of your debt." You'll see him comment, "Yo, fuck you."
Yeah,
that recently.
Who would you get starstruck by?
I mean, listen, RZA was recently at, he's a Wu-Tang Clan producer,
Yeah.
He was recently at the Comedy Cellar, and I was annoyed that I missed him. Cypher Sounds told me, oh, he was there, he watched the show. I would have loved to be in a position where he's an audience member and I'm on stage doing the set, because that's the beautiful thing about comedy. You could catch yourself in that position where you're on stage entertaining motherfuckers who entertained you most of your life. That shit is dope.
Yeah,
So I would
is.
say any like Wu-Tang Clan member like that would be dope for me.
Yeah, it's interesting because like though they're not famous to a lot of people, right? But like I felt that way about athletes when I would interview athletes on shows. Like, like if they were athletes that were recent, like when I was an adult, I wasn't as thrilled about it or starstruck about it. But if it was an athlete from when I was a kid, like Jerry Rice or Alonzo Mourning, I had like a different reaction about it. Because when you're a kid, you just idolize these people. Same thing with Juju from the Beatnik. You all right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just want to make sure that a good portion of the episode, my shirt is right. And while you're talking about 90s hip hop now, my shirt, my Lulu, was flipped up like this. And it just made me very angry. I was like, fuck.
But you don't have to worry. You're one of those guys, you're so fit that you don't have to worry about the position. I have to always think about, part of my brain is always thinking about where my shirt is on my gut and how I'm positioned if I'm hiding it.
You know what you got to do? Pull up your pants above your belly button.
That's when you give in. When you do that, the older people get, the higher their
comfort.
pants
It's
go
called
up.
comfort.
But yeah, it's true. Juju follows me, and I'm like, that's Juju
Yo,
from
and,
Beatnuts.
and when he compliments you on your videos and shit, I think that's fly.
It is.
Because it does. There's a time in our life where we hold on to that shit. It was like, oh, that was a formative time of our life, right? We're listening to this music, and these motherfuckers showed us some good times.
Absolutely.
And
Yeah.
it's like,
And
but
it's-
right now there's nothing that moves me like that. I'm past the age where I'm starstruck by anything.
Right.
It's got to be a throwback.
Right.
Like from the age of 18 to 25, where I was most impressionable creatively, artistically. Anything past that,
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck. I don't even give a fuck about these new fly-ass talented boxers who are immensely talented, probably better than anybody we ever like, because they're fucking kids. I'm not into that shit. They're
Right.
like 19, 20 years old. I have nothing in common with them. I don't care. I watch the fight, but
Right.
they can walk right by me with their chinchilla fur or whatever. And I'm
won't
like,
care.
I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, it's so funny how you care about that stuff when you're young, and then you get older, you don't
Yeah,
care
I don't
about
give a
that.
fuck about any of that shit.
I never
just
think
wanna
about
be
that.
home.
It's hard for me to be a fan of a kid.
Yeah.
It's true.
Yeah, I don't want to be a fan of a kid. And that's also like,
I can't get starstruck by like Steph. He's younger than me. Steph Curry or something. You're like, he's so young. It's like, how can you get starstruck by someone younger than you?
yeah, someone who was born in 1998.
Yeah, you should go to prison if you get. There should be rules about that.
Also, I think there should be fucking rules, or if like you get arrested, the officer has to be older than you. That's some shit I think about. It's just annoying. I think about that shit. I'm like, oh, imagine some 21-year-old that has behind your back. Oh, you fucker.
Yeah.
Get off me.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just fucking, I got salt and pepper in my beard. He's got chisel face features, a fucking 4 hairline, a dumbass fucking tattoo.
You get
Yeah.
arrested by somebody who's watching Bubble Guppies.
Yeah. Exactly.
You can't. Yeah, that's
Someone
a
was
good
born
point.
2003.
Yeah, you can't. Yeah.
Was 3 years, was born 2 years after 9/11.
Yeah, you can't.
Does he? Yeah, he wasn't present at 9/11.
He tries to enforce the law, and you're like, you're younger than me, dude.
Yeah, dog.
Yeah.
He got the newest fucking hairstyle or some shit. I'm
Yeah,
like, you
you're
arrested me?
You don't even have life lessons yet. You can't arrest me.
Yeah, that I think about that shit a lot.
That's really funny. Yeah.
Dogs.
Maybe they should police based on age demographic.
Well, I'm trying not to be, right. And I'm also trying not to be fucking like old with this shit. I'm trying to be open. But even like I just recently started therapy, and the therapist is considerably younger than me.
Yeah.
Like, and she
Oh,
was
no.
yeah.
Yeah.
I kind of want my therapist
Yeah.
with like skin-colored tights, varicose veins, a pen and pad, glasses, a fucked up bob haircut, like, you know, like
Yeah.
I want her to say, sure.
I
want to
agree
say-
with you. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with you, sure. I want to say that, even though I know you were saying that, but I want to say, I agree with you, but stop right there. I don't want to say triggered. Like, my therapist says all the young shit. She says triggered. And every time because I was wasting my time. The first few therapy sessions, I was trying to showcase the best version of myself. Like, I'm super aware. Like, I'm doing this because I'm a better person.
They were like, it's giving hurt.
Right. Like, I was giving the best, and I was like, I'm wasting my time. Because at that time, the 3 sessions in, I still want to fuck her.
That's the problem.
I wanted to
yeah.
fuck her. I was like, I want to impress her.
Yeah, and
she was
especially
like,
when
I
you
was
open
making-
up to them, you start having feelings.
Yeah. And then I was like, a couple of times made her laugh. And she's like, interesting. You have a good introspect, and I was like, yeah, I do. Yeah. And then I got over that. I was like, I'm wasting my money.
Yeah.
So then I started revealing, and then everything I said, her response was like, that's traumatic. And she lays down during the sessions.
She lays
She
down?
lays down. Her feet are up like this. Like, her feet are so high, there's a vein across her forehead. Like, that's odd behavior.
That
But
is-
I was like, okay, maybe I should. She says, you can lay down too. So we're both like, I'm not that comfortable. She's like this. Like, she's laying down so much that her face is red.
Right.
Right? And she goes, that's traumatic. And like, I don't know, like she's saying that's traumatic in the fucking hammock. Just,
Right. And it's annoying because the younger generation, their trauma's not, they think more things are traumatic. The older generation will work you through it and be like, yeah, that happens. That's because of this. They don't just go, that's traumatic. Like, and you're like, nah, is it though?
Yeah. Like the words that are associated, and they do make sense. Language changes. That's just the way life is, right? And the way people articulate themselves. But when I think of trigger, I think of like guns and violence.
Right.
Like that's just like you've been shot. Like when
Right.
you hear trigger, it's not like, oh, this guy, it's triggering, because I smelled this food and it's triggering to like me and my diet.
Yeah.
Like I don't want to like realize. You think of like, yeah, when I was at a fucking nightclub, my man owed some money and he pulled the trigger.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I think about when I think of trigger, my man who was shot 5 times and lived, and I saw his stomach spread out and there was like styrofoam in there. That's what I think of trigger.
Yeah.
Not your shit.
Yeah.
You know, and toxic, I think of Toxic Avengers immediately.
Yeah.
Like the Marvel.
Yeah,
DC.
toxic. It's funny. I don't think of anything bad. If I hear toxic, I don't think of anything bad. I think of maybe a relationship where people are arguing. But that's as far as I'll go.
I think of like toxic, I think of like green ooze. Like I think of a hazard, a biohazard.
Yeah.
That's what I think. I think of like literal toxic. Like, oh, don't touch that green swampy thing.
Right.
Yeah.
You don't think about people's opinions making you feel uncomfortable.
No, I just think it's so they're thrown very loosely. That's toxic.
It's very loose.
Loose.
We talked about what they did, and I don't judge them that much.
I don't either.
Yeah,
I get
think,
it.
Yeah, I think it was kind of like mafia tactics. They were a big generation, and they wanted to carve out a place for themselves. They came into a workforce where everything was tech, and they were all like liberal arts majors, and so there was not a lot of jobs. So they were like, it was like the mafia. They just strong-armed their way in by going like, if you don't do this, it's toxic. If you did, and then everyone was like, don't sue, don't make me. And they're like, we'll give you a job. They just took over. So it's kind of gangster the way they did it. Yeah, and you can't blame them because they're coming out of college and stuff like that. The world had changed, and like tech is not big in America, and it's like the only real job you can get is like to make good money is like tech.
Yeah, it's so funny because that age group, I have a good friend of mine who I actually train, and she's a Muslim, and she says, she says this shit jokingly, but if someone doesn't agree with her, she goes, "You're Islamophobic."
Yeah.
I'm like, you're joking, but you ain't playing.
Right, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
You know how we say some dirtbag shit, we joking, but we're not playing.
Yeah, and that just puts everybody on the.
it's like, yo.
She can walk freely and say whatever. And
Right.
you
It's like,
can't-
it pisses the crowd.
Yeah,
Move
yeah.
out my way. I'm showing up to work at 3:15 p.m. today.
Yeah, nobody wants to be considered a bad person, so that's
right.
a great tactic.
Yeah.
It's always a great tactic to just accuse, because it's hard to defend too. Because when someone goes, "You made me feel a certain way," you go, "Oh, but explain it to me." And they go, "You're gonna tell me how I felt and how I didn't," and you're like, "I guess you're right." You know what I mean? Like there was this girl at a comedy show. She messaged me afterwards. She was like, She was like, "I love you. You're funny." She was an Asian girl. And she said, "I love you, you're funny, I'm a fan, whatever." But she said this one line, when you called me Ling, it made me uncomfortable and it was offensive. And it was a long message. And she was really nice about it or whatever. And I don't disagree with her person. I was like, "Hey, sometimes jokes miss." And she was very cool. She's like, "I don't envy you guys, your position. You guys try to make things funny." I was like, "Yeah, everything's an attempt to be funny. Some things miss or whatever." But I asked her, I wanted to know why. I was like, "How is it different from me saying to a black guy, 'Hey, Raheem,' or a Greek guy, Dimitri, or Puerto Rican guy, Javier or whatever?" And she explained it, her history of having to deal with, people going Ling or Ching Chong or whatever.
Yeah.
And I'm going like, okay. I mean, I get why that happened to you and that might have been a bad thing. But relative to what a bad thing is, that's not a bad thing. But you can't say that because that's the world they know. They don't know any.
That's exactly what it is. The world they know.
You can't go like, "Hey, when kids are cruel to everybody." It's like kids are cruel to everybody.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It's like everybody gets something when you're a kid because kids are fucking mean. So you can't really go like.
Jim Norton said something interesting when talking about that shit. He was like, he said something where it's like, there could be a movie. Right, and there could be actors talking about the name Ling and Ching Chong, and she would never voice her opinion to that actor. Like send him a message, like, "Oh, in that movie,
right?" So
But as a comic,
yeah,
they take everything so literally.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, no, wait, it's a fucking an amplified version of who we are.
Yeah.
It's like it's the comic.
Yeah,
it doesn't define us.
That's a great point. He's right about that.
Yeah, I love that. Jim Norton said that shit, and I was like, "Holy shit!"
Yeah.
He's like, it was something along the lines like, they could watch a movie where the rapist wins an award. He's like, "Oh my god, he was phenomenal."
Right.
And then like I say something about fucking my transgender girlfriend or whatever, and it's like, "Oh my god, that's appalling!" Like,
right.
Clenching their pearls.
It's so true. Yeah, like I didn't. You don't want to sit down and go like, "Hey, look, I didn't mean it like that. I was meaning it like you're Asian, right? I was just giving it a name, like I didn't mean it like." But she comes in with all this Ching Chong shit and she whatever it is, and I'm like, yeah, that happens in life. You know what I mean? You can't bring your shit to a situation necessarily at a comedy club.
And maybe
And
comedy's not for you then.
Or like, yeah, I mean, like if you didn't like that particular thing, that's fine too. But you just got to know what's going on at a comedy club, that a comedian is there to say the wrong things. That's what makes things funny. Yeah. Nobody was a class clown because they did the right thing or said the right thing. It's like we're trying, and if you didn't like it, that's fine. But and then she even said, she goes, "That other thing you said was, good because of this." And,
oh God!
You don't get to pick and choose.
And I was like, you don't get to pick and choose.
Yeah, fuck off.
And if you do, that's fine. You cannot like something. But just move on.
Yeah.
Right. Just move on. Like, it's shit. There's going to be shit in your life you don't like.
I will give her props that she didn't come back as
she was totally
like a
cool
reactionary. About it. So that's good. That's actually healthy.
It was very healthy.
I think, that's very mature. And that feeling may change, like how she feels
definitely
about that.
She gets older. Yeah,
when she gets older, she's not going to give it. That's so trivial.
Yeah, when she deals with real shit.
Yeah.
But she was
this?
This was a couple days ago. This was
okay.
just at the last show. So she was very cool, and it was very cordial, and we went about it the wrong way, and it ended in a Happy New Year's. And I was like, "Hey, I didn't mean it like that. I apologize. I made you felt that. I just felt like doing it that way." But if we were having more of an honest exchange about it, I would have said some of those things and been like, "Look, even if you didn't like it, even if it was racist or sexist or made you feel uncomfortable. So you feel uncomfortable for a second. You know what I mean? It's actually good preparation for what's coming later. You know what I mean? It's okay to feel uncomfortable or be offended. There's nothing wrong with that. Life's got a lot more coming your way. So don't blow your load. Don't blow your wad now. You know what I mean? Just build some scar tissue because it's gonna become more. You know?
That's absolutely right.
And also understand, like, the intention. Just understand a little bit more of the intention. You're not at school. I know you may have been trying. Whatever someone else said to you, I'm not responsible for what somebody else said to you. Just understand we're in a comedy club. Like, I'm trying to make a joke. I'm trying to make people laugh. I'm making decisions on the fly. Have a little. It's not all about you in this world.
It's not all about you.
Yeah.
If you start to, pick apart every bit, we're all going to be talking about whole wheat bread.
Yeah.
And that's it. Like, there's not going to be nothing to talk about.
Yeah.
Like, seriously, if everyone dissected each fucking, like, bit and routine, there'll be nothing.
See, but that's part of the mafia tactic is that they created jobs for themselves so they could write about this stuff. And how they write about it is they intellectualize and analyze it. So then they have a job. So that's part of what the generation did, right? Music and comedy is not meant to be intellectualized. It's meant to be felt. Did you feel good? Did you laugh? Did you enjoy yourself? You know, even if it made you feel bad, whoop, that's a hazard of the job. But the next joke will get you back on. And everyone kind of understood that social contract, right? You don't go into a Bob Dylan song and go like, yeah. You know, the Rolling Stones, they made them change that fucking lyric. Brown Sugar, they made them change a lyric.
God.
And you're going like, that's not what you do with music.
No.
You don't go to a Wu-Tang song and go, oh, that's misogyny. You fucking enjoy, the bitches, that you can see bitches on the dance floor going, bitches, my pussy ain't shit. And they're having a good time because it's music. It's not real life.
Dogs, and like everyone has a little bit of dirtbag shit in them. You know, you gotta embrace that. It doesn't define you. There's a little bit of that shit, and everybody embrace it. Have fun with it.
Yeah.
Man, you know some of I like some of the saddest music and the most dirtbag music. Some of the shit that 3 6 Mafia says is concerning, but I fucking love it, and
Yeah.
there's a time and a place for it,
Yeah.
right? And if you know, it's just like, but that's a great point. It's intellectualizing.
David
it.
Cross had a great joke about it back in the day when they were coming after video games hard. You know, that was a time. Remember the video game thing? Oh, it's video games. They were trying to blame it on video games, the shootings and stuff, and the violence. And David Cross goes, I'm sorry, what were those video games that Hitler was playing? You're like, yeah, man. I mean, you can't, you know, it's people. People are bad. And they always will be. People are always on a little bit of DBS. You just want, the amount of DBS. It's like putting a little milk in your car. It's just, you don't want to overflow it. You want a person who you like has to have a little DBS in them, right? Do you trust anyone who has no visible dirtbag shit?
No, absolutely not.
Because they're hiding a lot of dirtbag shit.
Absolutely. They're fucking boring too. Fucking deal with some, you know, I want to hear some gritty, you know, and know that, you know, some of the shit is inspired by a very primitive need for something that's a little twisted.
Yeah.
And we all in need of that.
Yeah,
We're all
yeah.
in need of that.
Yeah, it's more human because we're all kind of like flawed and make mistakes, and that's where your character comes from. That's what defines you. People pretending to be perfect. Those are the people I trust the least. Mm-hmm. And the people who are all over the place with their explanations. That's when I know you're lying. We were talking about that in another episode. I figured that one out. That's a good one. That's a good tip for anyone.
Yep.
Wait.
When someone is talking to you and they go all over the place, right? Like if they're lying. Like they're always lying. You knew that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like when someone's like all over the place with explanations.
I lied recently and it felt good. Can I? Or we don't have enough time?
No, go.
I lied recently. It was very naughty. And I acted as if I needed a service dog. Right? So I got a 4-month-old Cane Corso.
If
Not
there
Cane
was
Corso.
the opposite of what looks like a service dog, your dog would be it.
Right? So it felt good to be a con. I was a con.
Right.
Which, by the way, weeks before I was stressing a little bit, I was going through a drawer and I come across a cookie And I'm on the phone with my wife, so I'm not really looking at the package. And I'm like, hey, babe, do you know where the measuring tape is? Because I want to take I want to measure the dog's chest to get a service vest harness from Chewy in preparation for my 5-hour flight to Vegas with my service dog. And then I ate the Oreo cookie, and I didn't read it closely. It was a stoner cookie. Yeah, it was a fucking edible.
Wow.
That Liz had, and it was given to her by my sister.
Right.
Right? Dirtbag shit. And I remember scolding both of them like, you shouldn't have cookies like this. We have a 10-year-old daughter in the house. And my wife was like, she scolded me. She was like, our daughter knows how to read, and she doesn't have any snacks without our permission. I was like, you're right about that. My bad. And I go ahead, and I don't read the direction, and I eat the fucking cookie because I have the eating habits of a badger. You know how you eat 250 milligrams.
Yeah.
Oh,
Holy
Dog,
shit.
I knew I had to brace myself. I washed my face. I walked the dog. That shit starts hitting me. I'm
You
looking
knew
at
it was
this-
coming. You knew it was coming. Yeah.
But I started organizing the apartment. I go outside and now I'm outside in broad daylight with the puppy, and she starts looking at me. And this is like a dog that I absolutely love, but it's new to me. And I was looking at her. She was just looking at me because she looks at me like. She's an assertive dog in a way. She looked at me. I was like, oh shit, this dog thinks I'm irresponsible.
You started getting paranoid.
Started getting bad. I was like, yo, this dog is trying to alpha me. So in the middle of the street, I just fucking humped her to fucking let her know I'm the alpha.
You went full Caesar Milan.
So we go back in the crib, and I'm bugging. Now I'm on the phone with my sister. I'm like, I'm calling my sister babe. I'm bugging. I'm like, babe. I don't know about this flight that I have, orchestrated, stating that the dog is a service dog. Like, I'm lying, and she's laughing. She's like, yeah, hi. Think about it tomorrow. Make a decision tomorrow. I think it's a lot.
Right, you were
to do that.
overthinking everything,
I'm
yeah.
overthinking. I'm combing through it. I'm picturing myself in plastic zip tie handcuffs by a 21-year-old officer.
Yeah.
In the airport getting arrested by some kid that fucking likes bubble guppies
Right.
10 years ago. And so, yeah. And I'm bugging. And then, I fucking settle in, right? But I went ahead and I filled out all the paperwork, and I get on this flight with a fucking dog who doesn't service shit. But
It's a puppy too, and he always got his ears clipped, and it's a Cane Corso.
Yes, it's a Cane Corso. And it's
Anything
not a
looks
rescue.
like security.
I got it from a full-blown breeder.
Cane actually makes it sound less dangerous. It's a
It's a Cane Corso.
It's a Cane Corso.
Yeah.
yeah.
And I do the what's that, the vocal fry voice. It's a Cane Corso. So when people say it's a Cane Corso, right? And it depends. Like, the blacker the person, the more it's a Cane Corso. Puerto Rican, Cane Corso. And then the white people, that's a Cane Corso. It's like a switch, like an evolution. All my black friends, King Corso. Puerto Ricans, Cane Corso. The white people don't know what they're talking about. Cane Corso.
Cane Corso.
And I go, under that, I go, Cane Corso. I correct them.
Yeah.
While my dog is fucking doing flips and fucking chewing on sneaker soles.
Yeah, if you don't know Cane Corso,
It's an Italian Mastiff.
Yeah, it's maybe the most dangerous dog.
Don't
It's
believe
the
everything you see on
strongest
the
dog.
internet.
Yeah, it's a strong dog. Yeah.
So I'm definitely overcompensating. Why would I have a snake in my apartment that grows up to 20 feet and a Cane Corso? Yeah, I'm trying
well,
to
you
fill
don't
in
got to
the
worry
void.
about shit happening in your house with a Cane Corso.
Yeah, yeah.
You don't got to worry about nothing. I just want to meet the dog soon.
Yeah, I
So
wanna-
it remembers me from when it was a puppy.
Yeah. So I know the dog is smart. I figure, hey, this is gonna be fine. It's gonna be a lot of work. It's like traveling with a toddler. So I got the carry-on crate. Immediately we walk into I'm checking my bags. As soon as we get on the carpet, he takes a pee. Well, he is back. You know when they point back, she doesn't give a shit.
Yeah.
Body language, Pop.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I'm sorry.
Body language, Pop.
Yeah, I'm giving that, that goofy ass smile to like strange people. I'm sorry. She's just a puppy. She's a service dog in training.
Right.
And like that's what I was coached too. A trainer told me, if anyone should ask you, first of all, they're not allowed to ask you what your dog services as, what's your dog's skills, and
They're not allowed to ask.
what kind of service dog it is. Excuse me. And she said, but if they should ask, say it's a therapy, mobility, pressure dog. Exactly. What the fuck is a therapy, mobility, pressure
So
dog?
you couldn't tell the truth and be like,
And
hey,
I had to
it's
say
for
that shit in my head. I kept on fucking it up. I was like, pressure mobility therapy. And that's for anyone with anxiety. the dog sits on your torso and presses forward so it relieves you of anxiety. All right? I have no anxiety.
It's for autistic kids. I know. Yeah. It works
And
for
then I started
autistic.
acting
Yeah.
different.
Yeah.
Like with the dog, people would say, "Oh my God, that's a cute dog." I made sound.
Yeah.
And that was so unnecessary.
Right.
But I was trying to play the role. I was like, I kept on doing this in my mouth.
Yeah.
I was like playing a role.
like
It
when
was
you-
so dirtbag.
It's like when you limp when you park in a handicap spot.
Yes. I kept on doing this stupid shit with my jaw. I was going to do.
You had it conscious because you knew you were lying.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was lying.
You couldn't say, "Look, I'm getting it ready for a drug dealer so it can defend the dope house."
Yeah, I stuck out my head a little forward past my torso like this. I was doing different like physical maneuvers.
Right.
She takes she did well. Take her to the pet relief area. She does a pee and shit there. I'm like, good girl. And she's chewing on bones. I'm rotating stuff. We get on the actual flight. It's an hour delay on the tarmac.
Oh, no.
So now all I hear is this. I just sit down. I'm hot. I got a vest, a coat, all her toys, and I feel like I'm a con artist. Right? Sweat beads coming down. I upgraded. Thank God the middle seat was available. There's like a Russian lady by me, and she's like, "What kind of dog is it?" I was like, "That's a Cane
It's a Cane Corso.
Yeah, and she's like, "What happened to the ears?"
Yeah.
I was like, "Oh, she said, that's not nice." And she was like,
Oh boy.
And then she was very nice though, but she didn't like the ears.
Right.
And my dog was acting up. Never in the 2 months of ownership that I hear it go. I started barking at me. And her ears, she looked like a fucking bat under a seat because she's all black. And she revealed every fucking tooth that she owns. She's like, and she's like, and she wasn't listening.
Right.
Like anything else,
You're like, shut your autistic ass up.
yeah. And like now we're going to Vegas. There's people drunk in the front. Whoa, Dory! Like it's getting rowdy. She starts chewing on metal.
Oh.
Yeah, she starts chewing on the person, the feet in front. And I was like, whoa. It's like a kid. There's kids in the front of me.
Right.
And they're like, oh my God, it's a dog. And I was like, oh God. And I'm feeding her nyla bones and, rotating things.
That was a long 6 hours.
Yo, no. This is what I did. You slow the asses down. I came correct. I came prepared. Got some Benadryl. Zipper. I used to do that shit with my daughter. Flight with my daughter, here's some Benadryl.
You drugged your dog.
Yeah. Slow the ass down real quick. You should have saw she was all fucked up in the aisle like that. Who got a cigarette?
Dog went to sleep.
Yeah, she went to sleep, man. And then she woke up. But this is the crazy part.
Dog in training, you gotta. Yeah, this is how you train it. Benadryl.
Yeah. Slow the ass down real quick, man. It was like throwing a little fucking needle in the.
Did you bring the Benadryl in preparation for if that was a
Yeah,
situation? Yeah,
absolutely, man. Yeah. And so then in closing, the dog goes. So I said, she got to use the bathroom. And like I said, this is a good experience overall, considering how young she is, her first time doing this. And I took her to the back, and this lady with a flight attendant with a mask. I asked her, "Can my dog use the bathroom back here?" She wants, And she's like, absolutely not. She needs to use the restroom. I'm like, oh, it's not okay if she defecates where you guys eat? That's not fine.
That's unreasonable.
Yeah, that's not reasonable. I was like, where's the manager? So I opened up that. Now, everything seems much smaller when you're in a situation like this, like a stupid closet door. And and I put the wee pad. She takes a long ass piss. I'm like, good girl. I'm clean. It's heavy with pee. And I'm like that. But it's no holding because I got the Petco brand. It's good. It's holding. And she goes between my legs, wraps my foot with the leash, because the fucking dogs and the dumb, when they're that age, like she's not, she just hops out the fucking bathroom and she starts taking a shit. What a woman's eating like a cup of noodles. And she's like, she's pooping. Like she's just losing. I'm like, oh my God. So I pick her up, 35 pounds of muscle, back in the fucking half wet wee pad that's half folded already. And she takes a Benadryl shit. Benadryl mixed with stress. You ever take a shit like that when you're on medication and you're stressed? Yo, dogs, everyone was like, what's going on back there? Like I heard like faint voices, like, oh my God, like it smelled. Dog. Luckily, hot ass flight attendant was like, "Oh my God, your dog is so cute. Can I help you?" I was like, "Absolutely." She takes my dog.
Yeah.
She takes my.
So you could clean up.
Oh my God. And I'm like sweating, bro. Like, and the lady's like, I could feel the lady like looking at me, like piercing. I didn't want to give her any eye contact. And I clean up the fucking shit. I get a Delta plastic bag, wrap it up. Now the bag is like full of shit.
Why don't you put it in the toilet?
No, you can't put a wee-wee pad. The wee-wee pad's like 3x5.
Right.
Like, it's a big door. It's like 3x2.
That
Right.
shit will blow up the whole plane. If
Yeah,
you
dogs. Exactly. So I was like, you mind if I throw this back? She was like, no, you got to put it in the garbage in the bathroom. That fucking box is like 4 inches. It's like a bar of soap. You're asking me to put like 4 pounds of shit. We're in this like a 4-inch by 2-inch hole. And I'm like fucking stuffing it. My pinky went through the plastic bag. I got shit on the mirror. Like it looked like what a murder scene would look like with blood. So now I'm using like a toilet paper that's breaking with warm water that's barely coming out of the fucking. And then I leave. I get the dog, and I got away with it. I got away. It's a victory. But I feel like I smell like shit.
Right.
I'm like looking at like now I'm this dude with a fucking dog and I'm smelling like my pink. So I thought but I think it was just stuck in my nose.
If somebody asked you a question, they were like, "Are you sure that's service dog training?" Yeah, I'm training it to shit in airplane bathrooms.
Yeah, and when someone asked like, "What? Oh my God! If you don't mind my asking, I have a service dog. What does your service dog?" I was like, "Pressure." I was like, "It's a massage therapist."
So they just don't even check when you get when you register it. You just say I got anxiety, and they just go, yeah, fine, here, take it.
Yeah, dogs. It was easy peasy. I'm kind of blowing up my spot, ratting myself out. But you know why? Because I got away with it. It's like I'm one and done.
But everyone does
one and
it.
done.
You know how many people do that?
Yeah.
Yeah, everyone just go. All you do is it's a perfect example of how people always work the system. If you're lenient
Well,
and stuff like that,
that's why I
they just
felt
work
it.
it.
I was
Everyone
like,
just
you know what,
because you can't disprove anxiety. You go, I have anxiety. It's my therapy talking. They go, all right.
Well, they make it a lot harder because they have emotional support dog, and people were bringing ostriches on the plane. Like it's my emotional support animal. Yeah. Some guy brought a baby, like a dwarf horse. Like Liz told me when she was a flight, a peacock. There's like a fan, a fucking peacock feathers falling on people's heads. And so they're tight on it. So they make you fill out 2 forms, and they could, I got the therapy letter, not from my therapist. She's legit, but I got everything in order.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know, and I even played the role.
That's stressful when you got 6 hours ahead of you and the dog starts acting up. And
There's something about my personality that
Yeah.
wants like more in my life. Like I don't know why. I had someone who could take care of my dog. Why would I do that? I think I just want to continue training with the dog.
You got an addictive personality, Pop.
Yeah. And yeah, that's it. I'm like a guppy away from being an animal horse.
Yeah, I mean, so what are we up to now? We got the Cane Corso. How many snakes?
I got 8 snakes,
8
Cane Corso,
snakes.
3 cats.
3 cats, a Cane
Yeah.
Corso, 8 snakes. So you got 8 snakes now.
Yeah, and if you can't,
You can charge admission to your house. It's officially an aquarium. It's officially a zoo.
a reptarium.
A reptarium.
If I
Yeah.
may.
You could open a private reptarium in your crib.
Yeah,
You got to feed all of them mice and everything.
yeah.
Yeah.
They're
It's
all
good
making
though.
a move with you upstate?
No, all the reptiles are in a New York City tenement.
No, but they're going to go with you
Yeah,
upstate?
yeah. I got a snake room.
Yeah.
You guys have snake room.
Yeah. Can't wait till it's fucking done.
You have to make a note to bleep out.
Oh,
He
yeah.
just
all
gave
right.
his fucking block away.
You don't
Man, you
give a
come
shit.
see me. I'm not concerned with any of
Nobody
that
walking up in
shit.
that house. I don't know.
Motherfuckers, right before
You gotta bleep the whole thing. You crazy, some crazy people in the world, dog. Yeah, can you just remember to bleep it? Yeah. Sergio's invited. Come on.
Yeah, come on.
down. I got
Yeah.
8 snakes in the Cane Corso, and I know how to
I
box.
still got that contract that owes me money energy all day. Sometimes you carry that on, it overlaps.
Yeah. So, yo, check out POP.
Picking Up Punches, new podcast drops January 10th. Appreciate it.
And DBS, right? That's still
Yeah,
weekly?
we got some good ones in the from back in the days.
the
And we're
archives, yeah.
real good ones. I got a great one with you, and it's
And
dope.
the POP is great, man. If you're a boxing fan, that's incredible. You
But
got
the
Boom
thing
Boom
is, I
Mancini
want
and Mickey
people to
Ward.
know that it's not just specifically for boxing fans. It's like the shit that we're talking, but that's the pin, boxing.
Yes.
So we go off on some dirtbag shit.
Yeah, but
and
if you
it's
do
boxing.
like,
It's an
if you do
interesting
like
story.
boxing, I mean,
Yeah.
Mickey Ward, that's probably, I'm going to go watch that.
Yeah.
I'm interested. Boom Boom Mancini, I'm going to watch that. I remember those guys. That's that thing. I remember those fighters when I was young. I'm interested.
Yeah, those are the ones you're fans of.
Yes, I'm fans of both those guys. Yeah. So that's incredible. Always the best. Always a good hang with the great Sergio Chicon. Catch him on the road, too. I assume you're doing a lot of shows with Chrissy D.
Got a few coming up, and a lot of local shit. And me and you are gonna be out
that's
in
right.
West Nyack.
West Nyack.
Marisa, that rigorous bitch, is gonna be in the mix.
We're doing, Sergio will be with me at Levity Live, January 20th to the 22nd. So
I have a whack dick print. It's whack. It's like I shouldn't be wearing Lulu if I don't have the correct dick print for it. So you may forget about, leave the address, block this shit.
more
Give me
concerned
one of
with
those
that.
blurry, pixely things because my dick print is whack.
Mine's too.
it's a
I got a
whack
whack
dick
dick print. Yeah.
This guy's, you know what I'm saying? Like, they're confident. They can wear anything they want.
I think I'd have a totally different personality if I had a bigger
My dick
dick.
print looks like a camel toe.
Yeah.
It's dirtbag, but you can't have it all, B.
Yeah, no.
You can't have it all.
And it's good certain people don't have big dicks because they'd be tyrants. I think I'd be a tyrant.
You talking some wild shit,
Yeah.
you're swinging a big dick.
Yeah, I think
top of
that would
that?
put me over the edge. If I had a big dick, I would be intolerable.
Yo, it's like, so when you got a big dick, you just walk around naked in the crib flaccid,
You're
right?
just always confident. You move
Yeah,
around with
yeah.
that's why they say big dick energy. You just have a different. I remember this basketball player on the AU team, dog. He would just walk around naked with the towel and just be.
Yeah.
His dick would just swing like
even,
that.
Even if like you're involved in an affair, and say you just finished having sex with the woman who has a boyfriend, and the boyfriend's on his way up. A motherfucker with a big ass dick has his hands, one hand on the hip, the other on the remote. He's like, you better go handle that.
Yeah.
Like, he said something like that. Like, he's not concerned.
Not
He's
concerned.
like, go handle that.
No, I remember one of the funniest things one of my ex-girlfriends did. We were arguing, and she came into the bathroom. I was in the shower, and I pulled the curtain back, and we were fighting, and she went like this. And she went, I wouldn't talk like that if I was you.
Yo.
And it was the funniest fucking thing. She either said that or like, maybe I wouldn't raise my voice so much if I was you. And I started cracking up laughing.
so funny.
It was so funny, dude. It was so funny. It was in our old bathroom at this, at 6th Street, where you can find Sergio. All right, y'all. Check you next time. Want to give a shout out to our boys over at brooklyncannery.com. Small business shout out. Healthy sodas, guys. No added sugar, natural sweeteners, prebiotic, low calorie, but no nonsense in there. All natural. brooklyncannery.com. Yannis Pappas, all one word, for 15% off your order. Delicious. Replace all those feet-losing sodas with healthy sodas. We're also brought to you by Longshore Coffee. I got my order, Steven. Thank you. This guy is blowing up. His coffee is delicious. LongshoreCoffee.com. That's the coffee you drink if you listen to this. Conveniently delivered right to your door. I drink coffee every day. I drink the Boss Babe. Go check the flavors, the roasts. Promo code FUMES for 15% off your order. Free shipping in Providence. Free local delivery, and they ship nationwide. Free local delivery in Providence, and they ship nationwide. So go get one of those premium coffees. NateLinder.com. There's a lot of bullshit marketing agencies out there, but Nate Linder only sells marketing plans that are set up for success because he's focused on building decades-long relationships with his clients. He wants to live with these guys. He wants to move in. He can help you rank higher on Google, drive leads or sales, come up with a business marketing strategy with Nate for 2023. NateLinder.com, Nate_Linder, our good friend on Instagram. Chris Minetti, did you come to the show? I'm sorry I didn't go out afterwards. I wasn't, because of the pandemic or whatever, I'm being told is going on. I didn't go out to meet anybody. I didn't go take no pictures of nothing. But supposedly Chris Minetti may have came to one of the Philly shows. I hope you did. Chris Minetti, get your check cashed with Chris Minetti. How it works is you call him and you meet him. You meet him somewhere. 215-750-3730 for South Jersey. The Wawa people. If you got checks and you need them cashed, hit up Chris Minetti at that number in Philly and South Jersey. No website, no nothing. ForTheFree.art. Check out the artists from Hawaii that they have up there. Check out their list of shows and show dates. You won't be disappointed. ForTheFree.art. All the music lovers out there. Cool website to peruse. And Manly Girly Studios. Check out these podcasts from these guys. They got 4. They got Gringo in the Rough, A Side of Fries, Casa de Thinking, and their flagship, The Manly Girly Show. Thought-provoking discussions for everybody with Art, Andy, and their interesting friends. So check them out for a ridiculously good time. Tune in and get ready to be entertained. These guys are good with their marketing. manlygirly.com or check them out on YouTube. Jared, what up? What up? ExclusiveAutoShipping.com. Get your free quote. You bought a car out of state? Are you moving your car? ExclusiveAutoShipping.com. Get your free quote. They'll do it for you.
It's been a long